In the first half of 2016, I was using this, I think it's A5 size Moleskine planner, and it wasn't quite big enough. Actually, I loved this size. I love this size for carrying it in my purse or with me wherever I went. So I used it more, but that meant I filled it up even more quickly. So I decided to switch to the B5 planner. And I love that I can fit both my business and my personal side in here, but I don't carry it with me as often because it is bigger. So I'm not sure which one is the perfect solution for me yet, but I thought I would give you a run through of the second half of 2016 here. And this is the Leuchtturm B5 bullet journal. So my first page here is the table of contents, and I need to fill out the rest of the very end of this. I was being really conservative with the pages because I wasn't sure there would be enough room to fit everything in there if I did something for every page. And look, I only ended up using this little bit of the table of contents. So that's a lesson learned. I'll probably change that up the next year. This is my 2016 at a glance. So I've got all the months in the year, and then I've got the different birthdays and anniversaries on here as well. I was taking a highlighter and highlighting those days. I didn't get to December though, I see here. My next two pages were, let's see, it's May through December. And I had each of the months, and then I had the important dates, appointments, things like that written in here. I really like this, referring back to this often. And then I got into my kids. This is Michael. I had his driver's ed schedule over the summer, his work schedule, cross country, band, different things like that. And then this is my other son, Tyler. He ended up taking this past semester off of college, so I didn't have anything to write here for his college schedule, or he tutors when he's in college. So I had that in my last planner, but didn't in this. He's been working full-time, but his hours changed from week to week, so I found it was just easier to keep track of in the actual week in my planner. And then this is my son's wrestling schedule basically through December. I'm going to start a new planner in January, so his January and going forward will be in that new planner. I was doing the challenges over at Stamp Nation. I created the weekly challenges that the design team and members participated in. And so I was just keeping track of all of them here. And I like to, this is how I did it. So in case you're wondering, I would write the date, the type of challenge. If I had it off, I noted that. And then the type of challenge, because I didn't want to have the same thing week after week or even month after month. So I tried to switch it up between a color challenge, a technique, a photo challenge, things like that. And then these were my ideas and themes to pull from when I would get stumped, because I tried to do at least one for each season if there was something going on that month. If the challenge fell on St. Patrick's Day, I would probably have a green challenge or lucky or clover or something like that. But then I would get stumped like, well, what kind of challenges do I create? So I just listed all of them out here, and it was great and easy for me to refer to. Going forward, Maureen is going to be picking back up with the Stamp Nation challenges, and she'll be the one designing them. So this won't be in my next planner. So these are my next two pages. This still is kind of Stamp Nation. It's also Stamp of Approval. In case you didn't know, I design for the Stamp Nation design team, and I also design for the Stamp of Approval and Catherine Puller Designs releases. And so when we get a release, sometimes we'll get products from more than just one release. And so I was kind of getting confused, well, which product goes with which thing? And we get the prototype, so it doesn't always have the names of the different stamp sets or dies. So what I did was I stamped out some of the images from the collection. This happens to be the Lovely Notes collection. And then I wrote down each of the products that were in the collection, and then all of the different dates that things were due, or when we have blog hops or things like that. And then I was able to check them off. So this, you're probably not all designers for stamps or cards or things like that, but you might have projects that you work on that you could take this kind of idea and apply it to whatever project you work on. The important names up top and then the dates that they're due down below. It worked really well for me. And then I also kept track of some travel. You'll see more as I go through this. This was the Stamp Nation Beach Retreat. I have the dates, my flight numbers, where I'm connecting and the times. And then I wrote down where I parked my car and what section it was in. That was really important because when you're gone for like a week, and you come back to the airport, sometimes it's hard to remember. This is my first time. This time I flew out of SeaTac. It was my first time flying out of SeaTac. Normally I fly out of Portland. And so I wasn't familiar with this area at all, and I just want to make sure I didn't miss it. And then pages 84 and 85, that just tells me, let's see, exactly the week I was on, so I could go back and refer to that if for some reason I needed to. And then this is, this has not happened yet. Oops. Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't showing anything I wasn't supposed to on here. I have a featured on cp.catherinepooler.com coming up, and so I kept track of everything on here, the things that I needed to do, the things that will need to be done when it goes live, and so I can check this off as well. And then this, I think, is my supply list for the card that I made, and then I drew out a little card. Now, one of the things I'm going to try and be better at next year is sharing things. So sharing it on Instagram, Pinterest, the social shares. So I just wrote down everything that I want to share this on once it goes live, and I did little check boxes there. I love using Post-it notes in my planner. I use them all the time to keep track of all kinds of things. I'll share with you what I do it on this page in just a second. This is my Calling All Sistas page. I am the blog hop coordinator for Calling All Sistas. On the 17th of every month, we do a blog hop to remind our friends and family and followers to do their monthly breast self-exams and schedule their yearly mammograms if it is time for that. And brothers, you can get this too. It's not just a female disease. Women are more likely to get breast cancer, but men do have breast tissue, so they can get cancer as well. So if you're watching this and you haven't done so recently, please go check yourself and make sure you're okay. Early detection is so key to long-term survival. But anyways, I am the blog hop coordinator, and so I make sure that it all hopefully runs fairly smoothly. So for this page, I took the stamp sets that are in that line from Casual Friday Stamps. Michelle donates 50% of the proceeds to Breast Cancer Foundation and Research. And so these are the stamps that were available in the Calling All Sistas line. She's actually added another stamp set here, so I need to add that too. You can use, if you want to be a part of the blog hop, you can use any product from the Casual Friday store. You have to use at least one of her products, but then you can use anything else. But since I'm the blog hop coordinator, I try to use at least one from the Casual Fridays line because I think that, well, first of all, they're just great for the breast cancer cards that I need to make, and I have all of them. But also I love that she donates the proceeds to help out. So I have that written here, and then I keep forgetting the email and the password, so that's written here. It's obviously covered in Post-it so that you all don't see it. In fact, I had to re-record this section because I forgot that was on there. These are the dates for the things that I try and do. I've got, on the 1st, I send out an email. The 1st through the 10th, I take sign-ups. The 1st through the 19th, I want to make sure I'm checking that email regularly at least once a day, but I try and do it 3 times throughout the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening, when it's around the time of the blog hop, especially right before we have the hop. And then when just all the things I send out, you probably don't want to know all that. And then this side is for the different challenges. In August, we started doing some themes just to give us kind of instead of just making a general calling all sisters card, to kind of focus our attention, which you can do anything if you want to be a part of the blog hop, really. We just want to remind our loved ones to do those self-exams at least once a month. But sometimes having a focus and a theme helps us in our creativity. So I started listing out the different, these are the things we've done so far, and I need to kind of come up with some in the new year, but I need to talk with Michelle and see if she has anything else coming out that might go with this, because I don't know when she might have another release. So anyways, that's for this. And then I keep track of, there's some more ideas to come up with. These are the current Girl Fridays that are included. And then this happens to be the December is make time, and this is the list of all the participants. So each month I keep track of all the participants that are in the blog hop, and if anybody needs to take the day off, or if anybody needs to be pulled out. Sorry, my phone. It never fails. I get to filming and one of the animals goes nuts or the phone rings. Otherwise it's pretty quiet around here. Oh. So again, this is because I work with Catherine Puller Designs and Stamp of Approval releases. I design cards for their releases. I am keeping track of all of the products and the different things that are being released and the dates. This is the Candy Cane Lane collection. So I listed out all the different supplies. I used stamps that were included in the collection for this particular page. Sorry, lost my train of thought. And then all of the dates that things are due or are released, or blog hops, things like that. This is the Holiday Magic collection. And we didn't have a release date. I got these supplies really early, but we didn't have a release for them. And I didn't even have, actually I only had a couple things in the release, and then I got the other two just a few weeks ago. So this one is not quite done yet. This was the Foundations collection. This is, I wrote 2018, so 2017. That cracks me up. This is my planning for my next bullet journal. Here are some card sketches. Like I said, I'm a card designer, and lately I've been in a creative slump, so I started going through and looking, like this is Mojo Monday sketches and retro sketches, and I just started going through and seeing some ones I liked and just sketching them out in my bullet journal. And then I can go and sit down, and when I'm making cards, sometimes I just start with an image. And let's see if I have something here. Actually, I've got this. This is from that Holiday Magic. Holiday Mittens is what it's called. I can pull out the stamp set and go, oh, you know what? That might be really cute to put on a tag. Or I could use that instead of the tree here and design a card around the stamp set, but then have the sketches to help me design the rest of the card. So this is kind of new for me. I will be carrying this over into the next planner. Okay, so this is where I started my weeklies. I had my weekly here. I actually put the bills down here, and then I have my dailies here. And I liked this, but I had all this extra space because I had changed from this one. Let me see if I can find. See, this was my weeklies and dailies towards the end of my last bullet journal. And so I just found that I had lots of extra space here that I didn't have in the other one. So I thought, what if I combine them? So I have the weekly up top. These are kind of for my appointments and my schedule. This is my blog area, and this is kind of my family life area. And then the daily to-dos under here. I ended up using this, some variation of this through most of the rest of the year. I've got my monthlies, mostly for just important dates. More weeklies. July. If you're interested in seeing any of the videos for these, just go ahead and check out my bullet journal planner playlist, and you can see how I set these up. This is where I did my bill paying, this section right here, and I really liked having it all in one place that I kept referring to. I wrote down all of the bills that were due, or like if you need, when we need to sign up for FSA, that's in there, or renew the license, that kind of thing, and a checkbox for when they're due, and then check it off as I pay them. As well as I've got things that, we've got those no interest credit cards, but they have to be paid off by a certain date. So I went ahead and divided them by how many payments we needed, and then I kept track of it that way, and I really like that. And a lot of them are being paid off this month, yay! Just a couple left that aren't paid off until like March, I think. So this was my waiting on, and I just did one page and did it for the whole rest of the year. I kind of ran out of room here at Christmas time. I need to add some more up here, I think. And so I just wrote down as things needed to be sent in, and then I check marked them as they came in. And then like this, I ordered from Brutus Monroe, and I was missing one of the inks. Or the embossing powder, I think I wrote ink, but I think it was the embossing powder that was missing, and it still hasn't come in, so I'm thinking that might be just a wash, or I need to email and find out what happened there. January stamp of approval, that should be here any day. More monthlies and weeklies. This is September. We went to Disneyland. I still need to make that Disney video for you. This I need to put into my Disney video, so I'll just talk about it briefly here, but this is where I kept track of all of the dates, the places we were staying, the places that the dog and the cat stayed, things like that, the car rental, and then my packing list. Here's another, this is my to-do list, so everything that needed to be done before we went, and my packing list. And then I took that idea and did kind of the same thing when I went down to visit my niece for her first birthday, and my grandma, who wasn't doing well health-wise. Kept track of the flight dates and the party for my niece, and some things I was doing for the Olive City Care Home, and another little packing list. I think I'll do another video just showing how to plan for trips in your bullet journal, because I really, really liked having it all in one place in this journal. Here I started writing down some important things that need to be done during the week on the side. I'm doing the same thing. This is December, so this is the month that we're in right now, and I've got a video on this, so you've seen all of that. And then started writing down the different dates that things are due. And this week, I like having this little stamp here. I've started using more stamps in my planner. I use the stamp to stamp out the December. Let me see if I can find that. So these stamps are from Concord and 9th, and and then these ones are from other various planner stamps. I'll try and link to those. But I really like that I don't have to worry about my handwriting with this. I can just use the stamps that has it in there. And then this is something new too. I had been doing like this, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I could see if something wasn't done the next day, I could just check it off there. And I decided, why don't I just write everything that needs to be done this week down here and then check it off? Because I can write up here or over here or up here anything that is date specific that needs to get done. What I did for this weekly, these are dates, deadlines, meetings, due dates. I have those written in this box. And then these are things that really need to be done this week or that I want to focus on this week. And this has really helped me focus. These are kind of like my to-do lists, and it keeps me on track, but this shows me where I need to be focusing. And then these show me where something is happening and I need to get to. And then for this part, this is just my blog and my business. I've got all the due dates written down here. And then we're in this week, so I don't have these filled out yet. This is Christmas week and New Year's Eve. So then I decided I was going to keep track of my Christmas gifts and card list. Again, I used this from Concord and 9th and some washi tape. I also use, this is one of my tricks I love. Let me see if I can find, this is a gray highlighter, but I use an aqua. I just highlight block letters bold capitals, and then I use a black pen or any color pen, a fine pen, and just draw out my cursive. So I draw kind of a line in between each one to kind of connect it. And I really like this. So these two are my favorite ways to do titles. What I did for the Christmas gifts is I wrote out everyone's name and a checkbox for when it was sent. We also have some Christmas birthdays. My father-in-law, so we need to still get him a gift and send it. His is the end of the month. My sister-in-law had a birthday. I already sent her hers. I got a few more that I need to buy and send. And this part is for my kids and my husband. So they have a main gift, a second, Tyler's got a main gift and a second main gift because he was asking for something a little bit smaller. Michael's got a main gift, and then I also wrote some extras. So Michael has his own car this year, so I wanted to get him a bucket full of car supplies that he can use the bucket to wash the car, but then there's other little things he can put on his car, in his car, that I'll put into that, and I still need to get that for him. And then there's stockings. Typically I get this right before. If I find little things, I will put that in there, but this is showing that the stocking is done. I still need to get all the candy and stuff that goes into their stocking. And then I did something for Christmas Eve. We have a Christmas Eve tradition where they get to open one gift. And even though they're older now, my youngest is a teenager, my oldest is in college, they still like the tradition of getting new jammies for Christmas and either a book, or we might get a board game or a card game that we can all play, or a movie. So this year we got the Finding Dory movie. We haven't seen it yet, and like I said, they're older, but Disney is for everybody, right? So we're gonna go ahead and watch that, even though it's not a Christmas movie. Typically it's Christmas themed if we get a movie, but whatever. And so I need to get jammies for Michael still. Tyler loves to read, and if I find a book, I'll still get them a book. This has been a really good tradition for us because it helps the kids settle down the night before Christmas. It's really hard to settle down, and I thought about giving them a gift, and I think I did that one year, but it just kind of excited them even more, and then they were playing with their gift and they couldn't get to sleep. So I switched over to either doing a board game, so we would all be playing it together, or if we had lots of presents to wrap, they get a book and they can lay in their bed and read, and they can't sleep, but at least they can do something with their mind. And apparently they love it. And the new jammies was just for when they were younger, so that they would all look cute in the pictures, but the kids love it still, so we do it. And then this is my Christmas card list. I still need to mail those out. I was writing down everybody I need to send it to. And if you send me a Christmas card, I will send one back. So I will add those as those come in. It's not quite complete, but that kind of let me know how many cards I needed to have made and if I still needed more. And as I addressed the envelopes for these, I've marked them off. I've got some blank pages to finish off the year, which I almost have enough I could do January in here, but I've got a new planner, so I'm going to start the new planners in the new year. These are actually perforated, so I could rip them out if I wanted to. And I might save them for that if I need to cover up a boo-boo or cover up a page or whatever. I'll have that option. And then this is just a planning page for the next year. I'm gonna try and keep better track. I don't know if you remember me saying something about keeping track of my cards in the weeklies. Let's see if I can find one. Like this, I want to start keeping track of them here and making sure that I do everything for each card. So I'll do a little bad drawing and I'll keep track of obviously when I make the card, but edit the card. If I make a video, keeping track of that and editing it, uploading to YouTube, adding the links to my blog, adding the links to YouTube, sharing it on Facebook and Instagram and those places I need to share it. Just a way to keep track of everything. And I could also keep track of stats with it this way too. But that way when I'm doing sketches and things, I might just sketch out a card. It might not ever be done, or it might be done, I don't know. So, but this is just me planning it out and seeing how different stamps fit in here. So this is kind of my play page. And then these are a couple things I need to still do with the videos I have coming next week. These are some cards that I have already made. That actually I made these while I was, some of them I made while I was at the beach retreat. and I needed a place to keep track of the supplies that I use because I forgot to bring Post-it notes with me. I don't know why or how I forgot them. I have to have Post-it notes. But I knew that if I wrote them in my bullet journal, I'd be able to find them later. My next couple of pages are some different passwords, medical stuff like the medication that I take, things that I'm allergic to, the kids are allergic to, doctor's phone numbers, those kinds of things. My last page is for pin testing. I just realized there's something on there that I'm not supposed to show. These are things that I need to do in 2017, so I need to add them to my next bullet journal. I did some ink testing here too testing out the stamp set and how it's stamped. And then that's the end of my 2016 bullet journal. I'm gonna film another video for you guys showing you some of my ideas for 2017. I'll go ahead and set up my 2017 bullet journal for you and share that video with you coming up very soon. So be sure to subscribe to my YouTube list and check out my bullet journal planner video list to see more videos from me. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and seen something that maybe you can apply to your own bullet journal planning. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.